Climb the stone staircase, more ancient than the mind can imagine. Find the cornerstone, and under it the copper box. It is marked with his name. Unlock it. Open the lid. Take out the tablet of lapis lazuli. Read. The Epic of Gilgamesh, 1300 BCE.
Stories don't have tidy beginnings. The past is always present.
Okay.
But there has to be a spark. Something that brings the past to light.
Please climb carefully. Let's see. You worry too much. I mean... what am I going to do? Ball? Take a moment to rest before you walk, mistress. Please. Alright. Hello, Bree. Welcome to Heaven's Vault. I thought this game would be a fun game to try. It's all about deciphering an ancient language. By the looks of it, it's very interesting, and I think it would fit quite well with the puzzle-style games that we're doing. So, it looks like I've rested up here. Bricked up opening. Okay. How do I inspect here? Bricked up opening. There is something here. To keep people out, do you think? Or to keep something in? Something written here. Ancient script? This must have been cut in when the mortar was still wet. But I think I can read it. Heaven's Vault. Oh man, what an opening. Already I'm immediately engaged. University of Iox, some weeks earlier.
My story begins on Iox. That was where I met the robot.
All right. Mistress Aaliyah? Mistress Aliya Elasra. I have been waiting for you. I have been asked to escort you to Professor Miari. She is very anxious for your arrival. Am I in trouble? I'm in trouble, aren't I? She did not say. But I imagine she is simply being welcoming. This way. Did she say what she wanted? Yes. She said she wanted you. So why has she sent you? I guess is the better question to ask. Did you do something wrong? That seems unlikely. My ethical core protects me from serious error. Do you have a name? Do you have a name, robot? Is that intended to be a joke, mistress? No, I just would like to know who I'm talking to. Robots do not have names. We are, as I understand it, interchangeable. This way. You should know that the professor's urgency was remarkable. Okay, reply or question? Let's go ahead and reply. Maybe we should keep her waiting. Don't want her making a habit of impatience. I cannot recommend that course, mistress. Let's see. Can't be giving me another robot. They normally wait for me to lose the ones I am given. I beg your pardon, mistress. I'm sure I won't lose you. Why is Miari's room so far from everything? I imagine she enjoys the view of the tree, mistress. I am sure it's most pleasing to her. Look at her. Look at her. She looks like a tiger in a cage. A most curious analogy, mistress. You understand I will be required to report it. Required to? Of course. Professor Miari is my primary user, mistress. Nevertheless, I will try to sugarcoat your opinion. You do that for me? Of course. I have been tasked with your well-being. Shall we proceed? I would like to keep asking more questions. You seem so knowledgeable. What is your ethical core anyway? What good is it? It is what stops me from pushing humans off cliffs, mistress. Ooh, okay. And how reliable is your core? It is the core of my being, mistress. If it goes, I go. It's a tree of knowledge over there. A tree of knowledge, or so they call it. Each branch grows more branches. Except for the ones that die, fall off, and forgotten. Which is where we come in, I suppose. I went outside the university grounds once, exploring. This is a very beautiful moon. You can tell it was once lush, fertile. There must have been huge forests, lakes, rivers. They're all but dry now. You've not been outside? No. Alright, well, let's see. What was that thing that popped up with tab? Ooh, okay. Yari wanted to talk to me. She seemed to think it was urgent. Okay, maybe I'll get into this later then. How do I exit tab? Okay. Well, let's go see her, I guess. Oh, I have... Ooh, more questions. What do you think of the sculpture? It has a pleasing balance to it. You know, I agree. Looks nice. Mary must like it too. She has a model just like it on her desk. Okay, well, how did I could ask you another question. Let's ask you another question. Do all robots have cores? They must have cores. Whether or not they're all ethical, I could not say. Just like Portal. Could have some cores with robots. Well, I guess... Oh, I suppose I could go downstairs. Oh, well, no. I don't want to keep her waiting.
I was 15 when my Ari rescued me from the slums of Elbereth and brought me here.
Oh, well...
I'd never seen such luxury or such kindness.
Yeah, maybe I should be nice to Miari. Do you like other robots, Robot? I have not spent much time with them. That's avoiding the question. I suppose it is, mistress. I cannot think how to answer the question truthfully. Well...
I still don't know why she did it.
Professor Miari? Aliya, there you are. Come in. No, maybe she's nice. You want this robot to wait outside? No offense or anything. Why would I want that? Thank you, Professor. I'm sorry. Good to see you again. Well, I came as soon as I got your message. You don't need to flatter me, Aliya. Nonetheless, I'm glad you came. I know your work is important to you. Well, I mean, my work is important to everyone, Professor. Well, today it's important to me. You're our expert on history. Tell me what you make of this. That Looks like a brooch, I guess? It's a brooch. Yes, Aliya, but I didn't summon you halfway across the nebula to tell me that. So, why did you summon me? One of the scholars sent this brooch to me. Janaki Renba. Do you know him? Maybe? I'm not sure. Look at the detail. I see them. Ancient markings. I know they're a hobby of yours, Aliya, but can you read them? Okay, here we go. So this... Eagle wing brooch. I've never seen either of these groupings before, but the two words have some common elements, so they must have related meanings. Well? Okay, so this is the main sort of puzzle of the game. Holier friend or emperor beloved. Beloved relates to friend. Maybe I think it's probably Holy Emperor. If I had to say that. Let's see, review. What is review? Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it's Emperor. Holy Emperor. Let's go. Holy Emperor? But I'm only guessing. Let's go with that. The shape of the brooch fits, Mistress. That is the eagle and sun design, an empire motif. You don't think it actually belonged to an emperor, do you? That would make this the find of a decade. Now perhaps you see why you're here. Janaki told me he'd found something. That was over a month ago. Janaki isn't like you. He's an Ioxan through and through. What's that got to do with me, exactly? What's that got to do with me? I would have thought that was obvious. I can't go hunting in the nebula for missing people, Aliya, but you can. Okay. So he's missing. You've tried contacting him? I can't. Wherever he is, he's on his own. Not everyone is required to travel with a robot. Where did he go? He told me he was going to a moon called Miersi. I want you to find him. This is what you do, isn't it? Find things? I don't go looking for people necessarily, but I'll see what I can dig up. Get out of my office, you labyrinthian rat. You're taking the robot with you. Come on, robot. We're not welcome here. Oh. Seems like I went pretty sour on that last. You are not welcome, mistress. Be seeing you, Aliya. I annoyed Miari. How do you feel that went, mistress? Oh, I see what I did. Maybe I shouldn't have said that now. It went fine. I think it went fine. And will we go to Miersi, mistress? I mean, you heard her. Yeah, usually the stuff that I end up finding is dead. Can I say, Mistress Aaliyah, it is wonderful to be accompanying you. Oh, yes? And why is that? I find humans fascinating. And you are very different to most here. I have only recently been activated. I'm calling you Six. Six, mistress? I shall remember that. I wonder if I got Miari's translation correct. I think I did. The shape shows this is an empire piece. Okay, so Emperor is correct. Okay. And the Emperors believe themselves to be gods, so it makes sense that the words would be almost the same. Holy, okay. Alright, so I was correct. That's good. Good to know. But it still doesn't tell me. Where did this thing come from? So, where did they find you, Six? Me, mistress? Like most robots on Iox, I was chipped carefully from a concrete wall on the lower levels. Okay. You were buried down there? Indeed. I understand it to be not uncommon to find robots that way. We occur, I am told, like potatoes. Oh my god, look at that person on the right there. Look at him go. Okay. Let's... Oh, I ran out of time to ask you a question. I guess I'll just reply. Someone put you there. Most likely. I do not know. I cannot remember. Guess that's all. Aliya, oh, hello. Tell me, are you still wasting your time on curious notions of history? Ooh, okay. Miari wants me to find Janaki Renba. You haven't lured him into archaeology as well, have you? He was always so devout. Okay. What do you mean? Well now, your ideas are hardly wholesome. All that death and decay, you should devote yourself to real science. Metallics, maybe. Loop philosophy. History is a science. It's the exploration of the past, through evidence and theory, honestly. Okay, well, thanks. Didn't read that in time. Oh, hello, more people. Aliya, everybody wants to talk to me, man. Didn't know you were back on Iox. How are you? Well enough. I've been reading all day. Just came outside to rest my eyes, and there you were. Oh. 6 just appears behind me. I've got a new robot. I've called it 6. Greetings, Master Wong. Another one. That wise. You don't always bring them back. You don't ever, really. I'll walk you to the dock. I don't know why they give them to me. I guess I'm kind of anti-robot. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out who she is. I can only think they're trying to spread them around the Nebula a bit. Wong, do you know Janaki Renba? But I know Renba, of course. Well, a little. Why? When did you last see him? What sort of man is he? When did you last see him? He was here at the university. Maybe 2 weeks ago now. What sort of man is he? He hasn't asked you to dinner, has he? Oh, okay. No, but does that happen a lot? With Renba? No, not that I know of. He's fairly quiet, keeps himself to himself. Likes his robots. What does he teach? Robotics, that's what I meant. One of the best, one of the few. Did you say did? Has something happened to Janaki? I don't know, actually. I'm sure it's nothing bad. Oh my. Before you go, it hardly seems important now, but I found a line of ancient in the Annals of Mazwai. I thought you might like it. If you have time, that is. Always, you know? Here. See what you think. Okay. Empress. And 2 other words that I have no idea. I know one of these words. I'll have to guess the other 2. Okay, what do we have here? So, banished, buried, rebels, labors, circuits, robots. Okay. Well, if this is the word empress and it relates to holy, maybe this word is also similarly holy with this sort of symbol here. I don't know if you can see my mouse when I do this, but But this symbol here at the end, the sort of question mark symbol. Which of these could be holy? Probably not rebels or labor. Holy people probably don't rebel. They don't like rebels and they don't like labor. Circuits and robot? Maybe robots. Robots is probably the closest thing to holy. And then this word. Empress banished robots or buried robots? Well, maybe... I don't think they would have banished robots. Although 6 did say that he was buried on the planet. So... Or was he buried here? I don't remember where he was buried. What planet he was buried on. But maybe Empress buried robots. Empress buried robots? I think that's correct. I thought there weren't any robots in the Empire. I thought there weren't any robots in the Empire. This suggests otherwise. I'd best not keep you. I hope you find him. Okay, I have no idea whether or not I get that correct. Shall we proceed to your ship now? Maybe I do want to kind of explore a little bit. Have you sailed before, 6? I have no idea, mistress. But I am keen to find out. And so we left the hallowed walls of the university. Okay, I guess we're gonna head out. Okay, ooh. Timeline. This is what popped up earlier and I didn't get to see it. Ancient time. Can I read about these? The only relics from the ancient time are fragments of writing, but on Iox they believe the distant past will soon become our future. Okay. And what about the ancient empire? The ancient empire. Before the founding of the Holy Empire, there must have been something connecting the moons of the Nebula, but what that was has been very much lost to time. 6 is buried on Iox, alongside a whole cohort of robots buried and inlaid into concrete. Holy Empire. The Holy Ioxian Empire, based out of the Imperial Palace and ruled by a deified emperor. Crown of Iox was forged? According to legend, it was made for the first emperor herself. First empress herself, rather. Chronicles of Mazwai written. Mazwai was an ancient writer who documented the effects of the loop across the nebula, fashioning of eagle-shaped brooch. From the eagle and sun design, it is clearly an Empire period piece. Tree planted on Iox. The tree is still there, the whole university centers around it. The last emperor disappears. Iox fell to invaders, and the empire was destroyed, but the emperor himself escaped. His body was never found. Crown of the Iox Empire was lost. Somehow, during the fall of the Iox, the crown that had been the mark of the emperors for centuries disappeared along with the last emperor. The fall of Iox. The emperor's palace was stormed, the royal family murdered, the guards' ships destroyed, and the nebula fell into disarray for centuries. Oh gosh. Okay. Fallers established power on Iox. The Fallers destroyed the Empire, but they never extended their reach beyond Iox. Generations passed in obscurity. And then what is this? The Dark Age. Okay. So, very little is known of the years between the fall of Iox and the founding of the Iox Protectorate. So, Loop Temple. The Loop Temple is re-established on Iox. The Loop Faith of the Holy Empire is revived on Iox. The Dark Age. Okay. University of Iox established. Found to study the events within the loop, it soon expanded to cover robotics, mathematics, Hopper physics, and other fields. Okay. Founding the Iox Protectorate. Initially encompassing only Elbereth and Iox, it soon expands to incorporate other moons. Modern Age. The Modern Age began with the founding of the Protectorate, a collaboration of moons under Iox's guardianship. My birth. Okay, so now we're getting into the very recent time, Modern Age. So how long ago were some of these things? Dark Age, 200 years, 500,000 years. Okay, this is amazing. Oh, this is so cool. My birth. I don't know the true date. The Grey Ladies gave me a day, different from the other children in the orphanage. Meaning, Oroi and I became friends, sneaking around the halls. She stole screwdrivers and I stole books. The Grey Ladies' orphanage. The Grey Ladies raised me and found me work from the moment I could walk. I met Timur. I would later work for Timur in his bar, washing up and fetching supplies. 20 years ago, Mayari visits the orphanage on Elbereth. What brought her there I never understood. My first kiss. We never thought we would leave the orphanage. Adulthood seemed impossibly far away. Mayari takes me to Iox. It was on Iox that my tuition began in earnest. So, hold on. I worked for Timur for a long period of time. Timur always had another job for me and another reason for me to stay around. How did I pronounce this? Oroi? Oroi sets up her workshop. We talked about doing it together, but in the end, Oroi had to do it alone. Oroi's daughter is born. She named her after me. Met to Pi? Okay, there's so many, overlapping things here. Right at the university. Okay, and then we get into the very granular modern day. So I guess that's most of my history up until there. Let's see. I met to Pi, finding the Nightingale. The ship was resting, half repaired, in an abandoned hall in Elbereth. For the longest time, I didn't tell Mayari I had her. Oroi helped me to launch the Nightingale. I would never have gotten up into the rivers without Oroi's advice, but she didn't want to come with me, of course. So yeah, this is very granular down to the last few minutes. History is always writing itself. So Robot 6, Iox, just updated. So, okay. I bet there's a bunch of ways to explore this, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it there, and we'll go ahead and travel here. We'll travel to the next place, and I think I'll leave this episode here. Aboard the Nightingale, my ship is my refuge. It's the only place that's truly mine. Because that was quite a bit of reading, and maybe I'll leave it for the next episode to see what we find. The journey to Mayersi should be quick, mistress. I don't see why Mayari can't go herself. Do you think Mayari's friend is in trouble? I think he's in trouble. As I say, mistress, we should know shortly if we depart. What do you know about Mayersi? Nothing. It's a moon of pigs and rice, mistress. Part of the Iox Protectorate, of course. Mayersi it is, then. It should be a quiet spot, at least. We'll prepare the ropes.